I think later this afternoon, qualifying is going to be entertaining. 2 rounds, they're going to be able to go out and try to turn look at the damage to Austin Dillon's left front.
I'm going to guess he hit that wall coming out of the back straightaway.
Being aggressive, I think got too much.
Got too much, he said. Over the wall here.
See if that thing moves. See how far that moves. Drivers continue to contact that in the race.
Oh, he knows he's in trouble.
Wow. All right, so it slid that wall over. Guy's going to hit that.
Yeah, look what it
16
did.
coming to 17, Steve.
Yeah, and you can see he's just wide in 16 and then has no chance to save it. The bigger concern is, was there any damage as he went over those blue curbing? It looks okay, but Kelly...
You may have a fast race car, but you've got to make it.
Well, and qualifying is going to be vital in the Xfinity Series. My goodness.
Big hit. That's J.J. Yaley in the 38.
I believe that right there is going to be the yellow. That thing is hit.
Just out of turn 1, Steve.
Yeah, I think it's. We talked about how difficult turn 1 is and the angle of that wall. We'll have to see what happens. So the 13 is
spun already out in front.
The 38
goes
straight.
That is a big hit. Takes away part of the banner there.
Angle. I mean, you're going to see right here. This is not directly head on, but very close. He misses the tires, hits the safer barrier. You know, we saw a practice accident going into turn 1 where
112,000 square feet, Steve.
Oh my goodness.
Just as we get reading, Christopher Bell is off track. That's over out of turn 3, heading to 4.
One more dig in here.
Doesn't want to get this wrong. Here's how it happened.
This is going to ask you to overdrive.
We don't need to do that.
Oh yeah, it's loose. So right there behind him, you don't see it yet, but right there behind him is the panicked patio. A bar, an area to watch turn 3. So earlier this week, I had some parent-teacher conferences. My daughter's science teacher said, hey, where should I watch this new Roval from? And I said, well, first of all, there's not a bad seat in the house. Did you see contact to that tire barrier for the 20 of Christopher Bell? It's not a bad seat.
Have managed his practice very good, so they've done a very nice job. And a spin on the racetrack, Dave.
Entering turn 1.
Spencer Gallagher.
That's in a backup car. That's Bill Elliott's backup car.
Spencer, turn 1.
Oh, boy. Wow. Look how close he came to get that thing in the fence. Oh, my God.
Carrying a little too much speed.
I bet his whole team had a heart attack.
Look at that.
Can't cut it much closer.
Look at the walls on both sides.
Right in front of that car, he had to have that fixed. This is one of 3 spins for Bubba Wallace. There's number 2. And he had another one.
They didn't stop there. These weren't the only 2 drivers that had problems. Eric Almirola, also early in practice, just overdrove turn 3. I think we'll see this happen several times this weekend. He also damaged his car. See right there, he just tries to carry a little bit too much speed, and there's a major penalty here for doing that.
Ryan Blaney coming through the chicane on the back away. Just barely clips that wall, but does a lot of damage to the car. Splits the fender away from the nose piece on the car. Gave those guys something to work on. Austin Dillon also coming through the same particular part of the racetrack. Has a lot of damage to his car, making contact with that barrier.
That is a big contact right there. And just a ton of work those guys are going to have to do to get ready.
Coming through 6 into 7. See that gap right there?
Oh! And big damage already to the 11.
Austin Dillon also coming through the same particular part of the racetrack. Has a lot of damage to his car, making contact with that barrier.
Same place Denny had trouble earlier today, this time for a different reason. Oh!
Just barely caught it there, but that sent him up the wall, or up the track into the wall.
Not a good day for Denny Hamlin, a guy needing to make something happen for the playoffs. Right here, he's in trouble, and
tough day for
Already,
him.
Matt DiBenedetto. Oh, and once again, Bubba Wallace spins. 4 on the spin count for Bubba Wallace.
Stay on the bottom. Bring it back to us.
Take a look.
yeah, this is rear chicane. You're rewarded for going through there with a high rate of speed, but if you miss it wrong, you're going to pay a penalty.
Move that tire barrier back off of the racetrack about probably 8 inches to a foot.
You keep moving it, keep moving it, keep moving it. It gets better and better for these other guys who go through there and have trouble. Better chance that they won't clip it and have damage with their car.
He was going to try to keep going, but with all that smoke in the car, he just couldn't do it.
Wow.
A big hit.
Yeah, hey, if I'm another driver, I'm thinking, heck yeah, keep moving that thing out of the way. It's Bubba Wallace coming out of turn 8.
Bubba also has not had a good day. That's number 4.
And I talked to his crew chief before this session.
Driver injury there. Keeping it tidy on the injury.
Oh.
He's been one of the fastest.
Bubba Wallace with a massive hit there, Steve.
Yes. He did not have a good day yesterday, and the bad weekend continues. The difference is we were expecting to see maybe a couple spinouts for Bubba Wallace, but this is a KO. This will not be a return to the action. Man, it's heavy contact on that left front. See the window net down.
Glad to see he's okay. That's a big impact on
I'm trying to find it. This is one of the things about a new track is there's not a lot of reference spots. I'm trying to figure out exactly where he is.
Like it's gotten everybody else.
Oh,
wow.
Winner.
Yes. Well, he went.
Okay.
Big.
So that used to be parallel with that corner, basically, and he has made contact. And I bet this issue starts early in the chicane. I mean, so here's the problem. You go down in there and you try to split those first curbs, and when you have an issue, let's take a look. He just gets loose, and he's nowhere to go.
Man. Wow.
And that's a moment that you're thankful that wall is designed to move.
Is correct. Oh, man.
Huge impact there.
And Steve, you've mentioned it. That backstretch chicane is so inviting because it invites you to carry so much speed through there.
Well, it invites you, and it's required. I mean, everybody I've talked about says this would be a good shot at right here. Real time. Wow. So, it's inviting, and what people have told me is that if you give up a little there, it costs you all the way around NASCAR 3 and 4. So, this is turn 3, right next to the old Panic Patio.
And it's the same exact time Bubba Wallace had his issue, and that's the same spot that he spun yesterday.
You sure that wasn't a replay?
It looks like the exact same thing. That was yesterday. Crazy. This is from Kevin Harvick's car.
Look at Kevin. I'm telling you. I'm going to force these guys to try to go around me. Right? Oh, my goodness.
Eric Jones, backstretch chicane, Steve.
Let me guess what he hit.
Wow. That's big.
Now, he's already made contact a couple times. So he's fine, but
he's okay. My goodness.
There's a car in front of them.
Oh, took a peek there around Ryan Newman, and
there's no real estate.
Oh, man. He again. Holy Toledo. We hit those turtles, and you literally fly in the air.
A ways back. You must catch him dramatically.
Okay, takes me to 31.
Happens quick.
Guys, that is the biggest problem with that corner is that it is single groove. You saw he was half a car out of the groove and had no ability to turn that car.
And I know guys were kind of half kidding, Steve. They're saying that even in pace laps, they're going to run through their single file.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's no room for two cars to go through that corner.
Wow, that is a massive impact. Certainly glad to see that Eric Jones is okay. Huge for that team.
Yes, from the in-car sitting on pit road.
Yeah, this is Spencer Gallagher as they started qualifying. I don't know if he just got in there way too hard, locked the brakes up, and hit head on. Destroyed that race car also. Fortunately, he was okay.
The car.
Guys, this looks like it almost starts in the right-hander of 16. Get your all's opinions. He takes this right here.
Just carrying too much speed. Couldn't get the car turned back left, and you see the back end come around and just no escape.
To be back here in 30th without an opportunity to try to get any stage points.
See Tom Majeski around. He's entering turn 1. You can see him just gets away from him, trying to put the throttle down and around the car win, and that's what we're hearing so much of these drivers are talking about is you push it all and you overstep your bounds before you know it, the car's around.
A little bit of a scare for Justin Allgaier. He didn't like to see that.
Worked with that organization for many years.
Oh, there you go.
And can he hang on to it? No, he's going to go around. just as we're touting his abilities, he spins it. Daniel Hemrick now out front.
So he spun through the grass. He's on what part of the original road course. Be careful pulling back in.
Clear
Austin Cindric has just got to clean up with his driving in these Xfinity cars. You can see the car just came around on him. You know, you're leading the race. It's okay to run second. It's still a long way to go in this race. You cannot make these mistakes at this time in the race, Marty.
And Austin just said a moment ago on the radio, we've got to work on the fall off. I had no rear tires at the end of that run, and here you see him on board losing rear grip right there.
15, Catherine Legg.
Catherine Legg able to straighten it back out, back into the grass, and going the right direction now. No caution. Oh, big hit there.
Wow.
She was coming back onto the track.
She got a little help from that white car on the inside there. So these guys kind of all checked up behind the 90. And the 2, Matt Tiff gets in the teammate. Gets into him a little bit there. Brandon came down on, I believe, from that angle.
Austin Cindric right behind him. Nice job.
Road has spun in the middle of 3 and 4 and been contacted by the 39. That's big. This 7 did not have a great week last week. They needed to come in here and get some points. That 39 is going to have a hard time making it back around with the hood in the way. I was going to say the Christopher Bell, he's going to stay on the racetrack and try to get that playoff point. That's why it's so valuable for him.
There's the 7 of Justin Allgaier going around. May have had a little help from Cindric.
That's what he claims, Rick, and he is not happy about it.
Oh, hit him right in that rear end, right in the wheel. You see the rear axle moving around. Right along with Austin Cindric.
Yeah, he basically gets spun out. I know he came off from pit road and blends in front of the 22, and the 22 just hits him in the left or right rear quarter pit.
A lot of guys up front that have never won an Xfinity race. Now with only 22 laps to go, it's going to get aggressive. There it starts.
There it is. Turn 1. They pile up. We saw Truex get into the wall, and then the 5 got pushed back out. And that's Michael Annette that was sideways in the number 5, and everybody piling into him. The caution comes out.
Look at 11. Overdrives the entry. Slows down, trying to miss the wall. Gets in all these guys coming in there hot. Stage 3, man. It's going to be like this, I think, the rest of the race.
It tightens down into a funnel when you come out of turn number 1.
This most recent accident here, guys. This is what the restarts are going to look like.
That's a hit. You know, they can fix this left side body damage, but that hit to the right front is going to be tough on that balance of that race car going forward. And
there's Ryan Sieg. We saw him in an accident earlier when he got into the side of the 7 of Justin Allgaier, and obviously the tape didn't hold because the hood and the front bumper now are dragging along the right side of the car. Marty.
The 20 car, Christopher Bell on the inside of Allgaier. Christopher sees it at the last minute, but not soon enough.
And it looked like it went up and hit the 00, Cole Custer, as well.
They're not done hitting it.
Cascarala.
He's going to get it out of the way. I wonder what kind of damage that did to the front of the 20 car for Christopher Bell.
He saw it, tried to get out of the way.
Still there. Clear. Yellow. Debris in the back.
He's driving to win in a 410 sprint car. He's a 2016 ARCA champion. And now, as he makes his way through 16 and 17, he gets his first Xfinity Series win. Chase Briscoe wins in Charlotte.
Give you an opportunity to do this more often because you damn sure deserve it. Thank you so much. Way to go, bud. Way to stay calm and on the racetrack.
Learning. Check out back here, Michael McDowell, Daniel Suarez trying to go side by side in a very tight side of the racetrack. Suarez all over the curves, the turtles.
Little damage. Ripped the front fender apart.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's going to hurt him. This is a fast racetrack on the big oval. So right here, it's just side by side. It's going to be tough, Junior. It's just almost impossible to do that without hitting each other.
First caution is out. Stanton Barrett in the 51 has slammed into the turn 1 wall as we see the safety crew working on getting Stanton out of that car. And you can see the brake marks, the skid marks. That car went straight into the wall.
Stanton just a little too fast, got on the brakes and locked him up and just head on in the wall. And it's a very deceiving corner. You see that wall just collapse. It's a very deceiving corner, Junior, because the track's so wide. If you're not looking 100% at the place where you got to be, you never get there because the track opens up, and it's just a really weird entry. When I drove
Justin Marks had 15 spins coming out of turn 8, bumps the wall. He was out of the line, so no caution came out. He was able to correct the situation and get going again.
See it bouncing the car?
Tire issue.
And Almirola.
That's Almirola.
Almirola avoiding it, gets into the wall hard.
And now if I'm any other car with the 24 and a flat tire, I'm going to come to pit road if I think I can make it. Heavy damage on Eric Almirola. This is a car that we thought just had to gain a few points.
You see the 24 going up the racetrack on the flat right front. Eric catches him and just hits the wall hard.
24 has made it to pit road. If you're wondering if that car might bring out a yellow, he actually cut through the Legends car track portion of the front straightaway to get to his pit box. Marty.
See how close he is. If he gets into him, maybe he'll make a move here down to 1.
And we have the 2 cars spinning in the
78 as well. Kozlowski and the 78 of Mark Truex Jr. are around.
Now the 78's going to stop just in front of the 2 because he missed the chicane. I think Brad will do the same. You're better off to stop. You can't have another penalty. You just have to be conservative.
Kozlowski in. Oh, both guys just in way too deep. Like the 78 was in too deep, and Brad
was judging off of him.
Yeah, using him, and he just both ended up driving in too deep.
Those 2 guys are in position. They are positioning themselves to win this race.
But when you wreck through the chicane, you didn't gain anything by that. I don't think they had to stop. They didn't cut the corner. They actually wrecked through there. I don't think NASCAR would have called them if they had to stop.
I believe Chris Buescher was very slow, splitter on the ground. Austin had to avoid him, and I think that outside line is very dirty. We have not been running outside of that bottom groove very much this weekend.
Dive into turn number 1.
This is an important restart.
There's Allmendinger again, 3 wide.
Man, almost takes out Denny Hamlin with that move. 4 wide back in the pack.
A.J. Allmendinger made this work earlier. Makes it 3 wide, drives in the corner. 11 car does not have any idea he's there.
Still rolling 2 wide 11.
To be honest, not real sure how he would know he's there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a dive bomb, and
watch your inside here, right on your bumper.
I think Denny Spotter or Denny would have been able to get the information quickly enough to know. Marty.
That's the points, and as they run. Oh, and around goes the 10 of Eric Almirola again. This time into the grass, and the 37 of Buescher also involved. Chris Buescher actually just taking some of the advertisement with him. Caution has come out again.
There's something you don't see every day.
You're looking for something from Echo Park.
Echo Park.
A traveling billboard.
I didn't know you could. I mean,
that's why you buy the billboards.
You just didn't know they were going to be traveling billboards.
Little added.
Yeah, this is what you hope happens when you play for that billboard.
Normally we see this pulled behind an airplane, but here it's behind the 37 of Buescher. So
and then turn 5. I mean, this is a tricky little corner. The 37 gets off the track. So what happened to Eric Almirola here? Did he join him?
Separate issues.
Coming up over 6. Oh, wow. Did Eric get sent by the 17, I wonder?
Oh, Bojangles going to spit off, though. Didn't get caught.
Bojangles, that should be $1 less on the next biscuit you buy.
Hard into the gas and onto the brakes. Now Eric Jones a little.
Oh, look at Kyle Busch cutting the course.
That'll be a penalty.
Oh, man.
Trouble. That's the 20 spun here off of chicane.
Eric Jones has spun. That left rear tire down for Eric Jones. He stays on the apron. But again, a difficult day for the 20 as well as the 11. 2 of the drivers that were in a position they had to come out and win this race if they wanted to advance.
Well, moves it in. Oh, look at that. He runs into the 17. The 19 hits him in the back. The 17 has a tire rub. He probably has a left rear tire going down as well. similar to what the 20 had. Here's the 20 spin coming out of the back straightaway, turn 12. Left around the pit road. Stenhouse has some real issues. Tire rub with that left rear quarter panel.
Blending back with traffic.
This is the 31 going around of Newman. Newman out of the 31 and into the 6 for Roush Fenway Racing in 2019.
Last time by, and you can imagine why. They are racing each other hard as caution comes out now. And what will that change? Brad Keselowski can certainly save a lot of fuel now.
Tums heartburn turn for the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And the caution has come out.
Heavy right side ditch.
Under 8 laps to go in this race. Take a look at what happened with Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Wheel hops down into that corner, gets in there too far and just starts to wheel hop and can't stop. You can't, once the wheels hop begins, there's no runoff here. You're going to hit something.
Sitting in a really bad spot. That's why NASCAR threw the caution, I believe. They were afraid to let him sit there with all the cars coming.
On restarts.
And a race for the win as well. Keselowski on the inside, Larson on the outside. Back up through the gears they go. A little shove from Martin Truex Jr. And too hard through one. Keselowski, Larson both into the wall. They pile up in the Tums heartburn turn. Caution coming out again.
No grip. We're going.
Trevor Bayne in the 6 also involved.
We talked about these drivers. This is the first time they've been on old tires on restarts. The first time at this racetrack, you just don't have a reference to go by. And you heard Brad Keselowski say he just didn't have any grip. He overdrove it. All launched really well. Nobody really spinning their wheels much. Brad's in trouble right there. He knows he's in trouble. Got the left front locked up, and now just nowhere for these guys to go. I think even the 18, he was in too deep.
A lot of guys really did have a lot of trouble getting out of that corner. That is so strange to have so many cars overshoot the same corner on restart.
Understanding the grip, you know, you have to trust that the car, even they just. The 21, the 18. So we've had a lot of laps without a restart through that turn. Guys continuing to run that bottom preferred line and dirting up that outside line. Look at our guys battling for that last spot, transferring to playoffs.
What I'm worried about right here, Eric Almirola, he goes out of sight. Well, he gets caught up in it, and the 42 sitting against the wall.
Curve at Charlotte Roval. Now he goes to the inside. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. Locks the brakes up.
Oh, he's
and he's going to slide. He slides through the middle. Truex gets tagged. Now it'll be a fight for the finish line. Ryan Blaney in the 12 will win.
He stopped. He came to a full stop to make sure that he was good with NASCAR. Where's he going to finish? It's showing 1 point to the good.
Oh, my goodness.
And we don't know. That's not definite. That's not definite.
Or crashing.
We will have to find out as far as if there is any penalties for missing the chicane.
But 48 stopped after the spin. So understanding the rule, I'm not sure if he's going to be scored correctly, but it appeared to me that if he did skip the chicane, he came to a stop. But how about Ryan Blaney? Who knew?
Ryan Blaney. 48-78.
After the race.
Look at that. That was after the checkered flag had been out. And Martin Truex Jr. showing his frustration. Again, this was the final 2 turns. They were coming up on 16 and 17.
Jimmy trying to get down in that corner too hard.
Now Jimmy stops here. Watch. Stop. So I believe the 48 is going to be good on his scoring, and Ryan Blaney sneaks through.
Jimmy Johnson driving hard in the corner, just too much speed. Truex saw it, tried to avoid him, just couldn't avoid him.
And Blaney sneaks through.
Look how close. 1 point for Jimmy Johnson. We have a lot of stuff. So this car right here, you're going to see the 96 get spun out. Why this matters is because Kyle Larson needs this spot. So Jeffrey Earnhardt is sitting here backwards, and look at Larson into the wall, passes Jeffrey Earnhardt coming to the line. That's for a position. That's for a point. And because of that, there is now a question mark. We have the 42, the 10, and the 48 unofficially tied in the points. We knew the front stretch chicane was going to be exciting, guys, but it has made a difference more than just the winner. It's going to decide who moves forward in the playoffs.
Still has.
This is before the chicane.
Drive the way it is.
And here, keep coming because the 96 is here wrapped.
Hustle, you got to beat this 96. Drop the wall. Drive off the wall.
Think about that.
Wow.
Hustle it. You've got to beat the 96. He knew you had to get past the 96, and he ended up in a tie. There was a three-way tie between the 42, the 10, and the 48. And this pass right here allows Kyle Larson to move on to the playoffs.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing.